Can you guys hear me? Hello, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me pull this chair. Oh, it's dark. Right. Hello. Hello. Hello, OP, Oppressor, Kaizen Productions. Recognize you, Kaizen. How are you doing today? Friday night. I feel like it's kind of hard for you guys to see. Okay, how about now? Is this better? Or let me see. Okay, I feel like this might be better than this one. Yeah, it's too like in my eyes, hurts my eyes. All right, what's up, Terminal Apotos? How are you? All right, let me see if I could do this. I'm using my laptop to read the chat. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, all right. Okay, actually this one doesn't work. Okay. All right, guys, and good day today. I pretty much chilled and got a good workout and at a park. All right. What kind of workout did you do, Kaizen? I think I could potentially put it here, maybe. All right. Hi, little Titan. How are you? Pull-ups, push-ups, and some squats. Oh wow, you did the. I think that's. Aren't those like core exercise, right? Squats especially, right? Supposed to be a really good workout for your legs. Oh, I hate doing squats though. Yeah. All right. Okay, I think people are slowly trickling in. I see that there's about 15. Yeah, there's 15 participants. Oh, now 17 now. Hello, Anime Support 99. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Kaizen, yeah, it is. Although I can't wait until I have access to gym again next month. Lol. Oh, okay, I see. Is that why you worked at a park? Worked out at a park? What kind of gym? What gym do you go to? Or what kind of gym are you trying to sign up for? Right. Okay. How are you doing, Anime Support 99? Today is actually my first official live stream, right? The one that I actually was able to schedule the time for. The other two was pretty much unpredictable and unanticipated, right? Okay, you see, okay, nice, okay, that's cool. All right, so I guess you're talking about like it's probably your school gym, right? Okay, Jen, hi Jen, just got ghosted. You glad you're live? You got ghosted? What happened? Were you supposed to meet up with someone? Oh no. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Getting ghosted is not fun, right? All right. Yeah, getting ghosted sucks indeed, right? Yeah, Jen, I'm so sorry to hear that you got ghosted. It's not a fun experience, right? Man. Okay. Actually, this lighting in my car, it's not that bad. I probably should use this lighting lights. Maybe next time I record my video. I usually just have it off completely like this, right? But maybe I might try next time. It's better to see. All right, terminal photos. I want to get into hiking when I go to my UC. Nice. Okay, so like, are you planning to go to UC too, terminal photos? Oh, it sounds like there's some people there are wanting to go to UC. That's cool. Yeah, I assume you guys are in California then. If you if Kaizen, if you go to UC, yeah, I mean, are you from California? All right. Okay, 27 people trickling in. Wow. Okay, keeps going up. Yeah, UCR next month. Nice, nice. You know, UCR was actually another school I got into alongside Berkeley. So I actually applied to you know, Berkeley, all the UCs, right? Berkeley, UC Irvine, UCLA, San Diego, Riverside, those five, right? And interestingly, I only got accepted to Berkeley and UCR, right? Yeah, and yeah, UCR is pretty nice too. I believe it's a pretty big campus, right? It's pretty spread out. All right. Oh yeah, you're going to UCR next month. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's the same person. Yeah. Terminal Poto. So yeah. Sorry. Kaizen Production. Yes, I am. Born and raised in California. Nice. Nice. All right. So you are from California. Little Titan. Live 25 minutes away from LA too. Oh wow, a lot of Californians or people living in California, right? That's cool. All right. SP starting second year of law school next week. Law school? Wow. Some smart person right here, law school. How are you liking it so far? Now that you finished your first year of law school, isn't it pretty intense? Anime support 99. I wonder how long this stream will last. Lol, your first one, you expected only 10 to 15 minutes. I know, right? You know, it's funny because yeah, so I anticipated only 10 to 15 minutes. And I think it just happened, right? I didn't really expect, or I didn't even realize that I was talking for so long. I did not even feel the time passing, right? I think that's what happened. I think I really enjoyed talking to you guys, right? So it just naturally just time flew, and yeah, I couldn't even feel the time passing, and it was very nice. Actually, I definitely enjoyed my live streaming with you guys, right? So yeah, let's see how long this one lasts. All right, the LMAO Zidong, my goat. Jam, plans for the weekend? No, well, tomorrow. So I usually over the weekend I usually stay home. I usually just play League. Sometimes I just go out to eat. But I usually just stay at home, right? I'm such a homebody. But tomorrow I might go visit my friend in San Diego, depending on my energy level. He told me that I could come visit him, so we'll see. Yeah, I think I talked about this friend. Yeah, he's pretty like baller. He has his own house, he's single. His house is nice. They have a pool, jacuzzi, and everything, right? I'm so jealous of him. Like, he has everything. It's so nice to me, though. Yeah, so I might go visit him. Yeah, so what about you, Jen? What's your plans for the weekend? All right, on Ordinary, what's up, Kenji? Let's kick it. I'm in K-Town. I'm also headed down that way early AM, but to chill at the beach. Wow, wow. Do you like going to K-Town? Isn't that place like really crowded with people? And I don't know. I haven't been to K-Town for such a long time, so for so many years. But I don't know, like there's so many, good-looking people, cute girls with good-looking guys, and I don't know. Every time I go there, I'll go there, which I haven't been for so long, but I feel very, I don't know. I feel like I don't belong there, right? It's too hip, right? It's too many good-looking people. I feel like K-Town is just reserved for good-looking people, right? Enjoying themselves, right? It's funny. Okay. James Tuvanu. Hi, just a random watching you. Do you have any insecurities, and what are they? I guess my main insecurity is probably my height. I'm pretty short for a guy. I'm 5'6", so that's one of my insecurities. And another insecurity is probably my facial appearance, physical appearance. Yeah, I'm pretty insecure about that too. So yeah, those are my main insecurities. But I feel like actually getting they have been getting better lately, right? So I think in my 20s, it was actually in my late 20s and early 30s, it was the worst, right? I think I was mentally very unstable, right? But I think also the part of the reason I was suffering so much in my 20s and early 30s bec from my insecurities is also due to probably my life not going so well, right? I was pretty directionless in my life, and yeah, I was pretty lost. I did not have a goal for my life. I did not have a clear career path. I still was um I was college dropout, right? So I was jumping. I didn't really have a career. I would have some random part-time jobs, random full-time jobs that didn't really have a room for growth, right? So I was pretty directionless, right? So yeah, I was depressed. I was feeling very down, and yeah, and then on top of that, yeah, I was feeling insecure. But I think they all added together, right? So I think in a way, me being lost in my life really intensified my insecurities, right? If that makes sense, right? Okay. All right. Jen, San Diego is my favorite place. Nice. Yeah, San Diego is pretty nice. Every time I go there, it's just so nice. The streets are nice, people are nice, the weather's nice. The roads are like really easy to drive because so wide, right? And the food is good. Yeah, like it's really good. Yeah, I'm glad you like it too. All right, I don't live too far from there. I just thought you stay there. I see. Yeah. Little Titan, where do you live, Kenji? Main city. I would say like SoCal. That's all I can give you. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, Little Titan. Unordinary. I don't kick it there at all, but it's a little lively with younger people, I suppose. Yeah. K-Town, I noticed that there's a lot of younger people, right? I think a few years ago I went there to just to eat. And I noticed, yeah, like there's just way too many young people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the vibe, right? The vibe is like, oh shoot, like I feel old to be around here. It's just yeah, it's just different vibe. So yeah, I also like the traffic, right? The traffic and yeah, it's very, and the roads actually are pretty, the road condition is really bad in Cape Town and LA. One time I actually drove drove there to take care of something, right? And I went to a Korean consulate, and then on the way back home, as soon as I was like leaving the Korean consulate, I was driving and I hit one of the biggest, what do you call it, pothole I've ever seen in my life. I wouldn't even call that a pothole because so deep. Like my entire car like actually went in there and then came out almost. And yeah, like I heard like a very loud bang. sound, and like I could hear like the frame of my car actually like getting scraped by that pothole, right? And yeah, my tire popped. So I had to get my tire fixed, right? And you know the so I took it. There was like a car shop nearby, repair shop nearby, and yeah, they told me that a lot of people actually, a lot of drivers, they go over that pothole and get end up getting their tires popped, right? And they were saying how they don't fix that pothole though, right? They never fix any of their potholes. And they told me like for to make a claim against the city of LA, and they might reimburse me, right? So that's what I did. I actually filed a claim. I took a photo of the pothole, right? I walked up to the pothole, I took the photo of it, the pothole and my car and everything, and yeah, I submitted a claim, right? To get the money back for my pop tire, because it cost like $500 almost. And like half a year later, like a year later, I get the letter back from city of LA. And all it said, what it said? All it said was your case is denied, has been like rejected, right? Your claim has been rejected, right? Without any justification. They did not give any reasoning for why my case or my claim was rejected. That's all it said. I like turned in like 5 or 10 pages of like my claim, including all the photos and everything, right? I filled out all the forms. I did not miss anything on the form. All it said on the letter was your case, your claim is denied, right? Yeah. It was, yeah. I was so pissed, right? But what can you do? It's the city. Like, what are you gonna do, right? All right, maybe I have ranted too long. Sorry. Where was I? All right. Little Titan. Same my height. So are you 5'6" too, huh? All right. Nepcorn, you look good, bro. No, I don't look good. Actually, I think it's the lighting that's making me look good. But thank you, though. Thank you. I think in this kind of light setup, I think anyone would look good. You bring any guy or probably any girl too, anyone will look good in this lighting. For my future videos, I think I should use this light setup. I actually really like. I've never tried it, but if I turn it off, look, it's too dark. You can barely see my face, right? But this is actually how I usually record my videos, right? But I'm actually in the passenger seat right now. But if I sit in the driver's seat, I think you can see my face like more clearly because there's like a light directly like in front of the car. So it's more like lit up, right? But yeah, in the passenger seat, you can't barely see. But anyways, yeah, I should use this more often. All right. Okay. Kaizen Productions. All right. I visited UCSB a while ago when I was high school senior. I remember lots of good-looking Caucasian and Asian women there. It's funny because isn't UCSB known for as a party school, right? They are actually known as a school that like the most hardcore party you see, right? And they say that I think some of my classmates saying how like UCSB shouldn't even be UC because like they're completely a different school when it comes to partying, right? Yeah, I thought that was funny, but I never got to visit UCSB, unfortunately. I really wish that yeah, I got to visit that school and maybe get a chance to party up, right? I'm pretty sure it's very lit, right? All right, Don Ordinary, you're a good chief. All right, Jonathan Brown. Legitimate question. I saw your first video regarding being 38 and living at home. What would you do? What would you say are the top 2 to 3 factors that would lead to this? And what would you recommend to others? Oh, this is a hard question. I would say the very first, at least personally for me, right? I think for me, what led to this situation is, I guess, my finance situation not being in a good shape, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. So I barely got an actual job where there's some room for growth. And I dropped out of college when I was about 2019, 20, yeah. And I got addicted to gambling when I was in my 20s, even when I was going to school, right? Um, and yeah, even like, so all throughout my 20s, I was gambling. I was gambling away pretty much all the money I was making from my part-time jobs. And then even in my early 30s, I was still gambling, right? So most of my money earnings would go towards fueling my gambling addiction, right? So I think that was the number one reason, which led to my financial insecurity, right? Um, and then the second reason, I guess, is that it might be maybe I've been too complacent with status quo, right? Because this is all I know, right? The only time I got to actually live away from home was when I went to school, right? I went to school in uh, Berkeley, and it's kind of far from my hometown, but that was the only time I was living away from home, and I got to live either with a roommate or I rented a room. And yeah, that was the only time I actually got to be away from my parents. But yeah, after I dropped out, I moved back down, and yeah, I always lived with my parents. And living, like, finding your own place to live in Southern California, I'm pretty sure NorCal too, but it's really expensive. Even if, like, let's say I try to find a roommate right now, right? And I want to move into an apartment, maybe two-bedroom apartment, right? Um, I think I would at least pay probably 12 to 1300, maybe 1500 even, right? For a two-bedroom apartment where I'm at. Because I still need to be close to my job too, right? And yeah, and I don't think I'll be able to um afford that. I mean, I could afford it, right? But I wouldn't be able to save up any money then, right? Because there's food expenses, right? Rent, food, electricity, internet. If you add all these expenses, pretty much I'm really literally would be living paycheck to paycheck, right? And I wouldn't be able to save up any money for anything, right? And I just can't do that, right? I feel like that's kind of really almost hopeless situation where I feel like it would make me feel like I'm not progressing in my life because all my earnings is just going towards all the expenses. So my bank account balance pretty much comes to zero, right? Comes down to zero. Yeah, so I think that's, yeah, like the cost of living is probably second factor, I should say. I hope I answered your question. Yeah, so like what would I recommend to others? Well, I think my situation is very unique because like I kind of unique in a way. I did something usually other people don't do, which is getting addicted to gambling, right? So yeah, like I would recommend that you guys don't get addicted to gambling for sure, right? Yeah, don't get addicted to gambling. And I would say, like, yeah, make sure you know, I don't know, I feel like I would actually need a lot more time to answer that, but like on the surface I would say, like, don't get addicted to gambling and try to save up as much as you can, right? And don't spend your money on things that doesn't bring value to your life in the long term, right? That's I would probably say. I hope I answered your question. Sorry. I feel like I kind of rambled on, but all right, Derek. Hi, Derek Alfonso. Bro, no homo. Your hands was You're funny. Guess what, Kenji? I just made a new workout routine. I'm starting next Monday. Nice. That's really good. What's your workout routine like? All right, on ordinary, haha, nah. But if you need a buddy to go hiking or road trip, I feel like the district get more popular with when K-pop got bigger a few years back. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe one day I'll yeah, I might host a event to meet with my subscribers, right? I'm pretty sure some of you guys are in the area, right? Like or ordinary seems like you're not too far from K-Town. And let me see. Oh no, wait. Shoot. Wait, I hope my car didn't die. The battery didn't die. Hold on. Oh, okay, it didn't die. All right. Okay, thank God. All right. Yeah, sorry, guys. It just turned off by itself, and I thought, okay, I thought, let me see. Sorry, guys. All right. I hope didn't die. Huh? It's like really hot. Okay. All right. I hope it's okay now. Okay. Oh, it's getting a little hot. 1 second. Let me open my windows a little. All right. Okay. Hopefully this will be okay. All right. Where was I? Yeah. So yeah, maybe one day, if I could muster up the courage to meet and yeah, to meet up with my subscribers. Yeah, maybe we'll, we will meet one day. But I feel like, you know, I also have major social anxiety too, so I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be really really awkward, right? I don't know. So it may never happen, but let's see, right? Let's see. Even doing a live stream right now, it's like I feel like this is already pushing my limits, right? Yeah, even starting YouTube is already like pushing my limits. But I never actually thought even like doing a live stream. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, why don't I do it? Like, why don't I push myself out of comfort zone? And yeah, here I am, right? Yeah, but thanks for suggestion. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Hopefully I don't fall behind too much on the chat. All right. Let's see. Where was I? All right. Hey. Yeah. Oh, you look like Schrodinger Lee. Wait, who's Schrodinger Lee? Let me look him up, or let me see. Schrodinger Lee. Schrodinger Lee. Yeah, who's this guy? No, I don't think I look like it. This guy's way too handsome. This guy's way too good looking. He's got nice style, long hair. Wow, this guy looks good. Yeah. Well, thank you for the compliment. All right, let's see. On ordinary, all he needs is the K-pop bro haircut. You're funny on ordinary. All right, TJ. Hi, TJ. Hey, I just joined. It's 1 a.m. I'm here. Wished you streamed earlier. And first of all, did you really think you get money for the claim in the city of LA? You know what? I actually did. Because, you know, the mechanic guy at the auto shop, yeah, he convinced me that I might be able to get it, right? He said he convinced the other like customers to submit the claim, and some of them got it, right? So I really thought that I would get it, but man, was I wrong, right? And yeah, thanks for joining the live stream. Wow, it's 1 a.m. over there. Wait, TJ, where are you? Are you in the East Coast? Anime Support 99, speaking of depression and anxiety, what are your thoughts on antidepressants, etc.? My thoughts on antidepressants, there's like, I believe there's this SRI, there's SNRI, there are like different types of antidepressants, right? And my thoughts on those is that, if you need it, take them. There's nothing wrong with taking antidepressants or other types of psych meds, when you need them, right? I see them as kind of like a support, right? And there's nothing wrong with getting support when you need it, right? And sometimes, yeah, I think it's an extra support that you can really utilize, right? Sometimes you could end up relying on it, but when you're really depressed, severely depressed, like, try it, like, there's nothing wrong with trying it. And yeah, I mean, I kind of see them as like almost like, what is it, yeah, good resource. Yeah, like, you could use therapy, you could use antidepressants. I believe there's a lot of studies out there that shows that when you use antidepressants or psych meds along with therapy, it actually even enhances the effects of therapy, right? So yeah, my thoughts on antidepressants, it's usually mostly positive. Yeah, just because you use antidepressants does not mean you're like weak-minded or you lack self-discipline. Even if I think there's some stigma around psych meds still, right? And actually, I personally have used antidepressants too. um and for me, I guess it didn't really help as much as I thought it would. But I mean, I've seen people that actually was able to benefit a lot. So I think it really depends, right? But one thing actually that, so I have taken Zoloft, and I've also taken Prozac, right? And actually Prozac was really interesting because I think what Prozac did for me was it actually got rid of a lot of my anxiety, a lot of obsessive thoughts, like intrusive thoughts, right? It was really, really interesting. And I would say like Prozac worked wonders for me. When I was taking them, it was so interesting. Like, usually when I would have intrusive, obsessive thoughts, it would go in a spiral, right? It continues. It continues in like a loop and chain reaction, right? It doesn't stop once it gets triggered, right? But once I started taking Prozac, what happened is that, like, when it's like, I get an intrusive thought, right? And then usually it goes to the next step, next thought, right? In the chain. But when the first thought comes up, it stops there. It does not go to the next thought. It was so crazy. I've never experienced that. And yeah, I loved it. Yeah. So, and yeah, and it really helped me to like kind of help myself out of like that, depressed state, the anxious, like extremely anxious state. It was like a like crutch, right? So yeah, it really helped. So I really liked it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, David. Cherish me, David. Hi, David. Are you black pilled? Someone asked me, like, a couple of people left in the comments, like, are you black pilled, or they said that, like, oh, like, you're headed to black pilled. And I think I looked it up, but I kind of forgot. But let me look it up again, okay? I have my laptop here. I think it's pretty actually nice that I have my laptop. I could look things up. What is... Okay, let me ask ChatGPT actually. What does black pilled mean? Let's see if ChatGPT gives me a politically incorrect answer, right? All right, black pill, it says, I'm gonna read it to you guys, okay? Black pilled is a term that originates from internet culture and is associated with a particular worldview or ideology. The concept comes from the metaphorical red pill and blue pill from the movie Matrix. And by the way, I'm familiar with the red pill and blue pill philosophy or terminology. Red pill. Okay, so it says about. Yeah, it explains about red pill and blue pill. Okay, I must skip that one. And then here it says black pilled means the term black pilled takes this metaphor further and it's typically used to describe a state of extreme pessimism and nihilism. Oh, okay. A person who is black pilled believes that the world is fundamentally broken or beyond repair and that individual or collective efforts to improve society are futile. Okay. Context. It is often used in online communities that are highly critical of societal structures, relationships, or human nature. The black pill ideology is sometimes associated with incel, involuntary celibate communities, where it reflects a belief that certain people are doomed to failure in romantic or social endeavors due to unchangeable factors like appearance or social status. I see. Negative connotations. Being black-pilled usually implies a deep sense of hopelessness, cynicism, resignation to a perceived harsh reality. It is generally viewed as a negative or defeatist mindset, in contrast to more constructive or hopeful world views. In summary, black-pilled refers to a pessimistic, nihilistic belief that life or society is inherently flawed and that efforts to improve or change it are pointless. The term often carries a negative connotation and is associated with extreme or fatalistic views. Wow, okay. Before I give you my thoughts on this, let me open the chat again. Yeah, like is this accurate description of black pit? Did ChatGPT give any did ChatGPT give a politically correct answer or incorrect answer or pretty accurate? I don't know. Is that pretty accurate? Yeah, I'm Korean. 네, 한국인이에요. Is that pretty accurate? I'm gonna assume that it's pretty accurate, right? So I'm going to give you my answer. So it sounds like being black pilled means you're pretty being cynical, right? Nihilistic. You're in this state of hopelessness, helplessness, right? And being black pilled, it sounds like I think it's probably another type of philosophy, right? To give you the straight answer, do I agree with it? I don't think I do. I don't think I associate myself with any black pilled philosophy. There was a time in my life, if you probably asked me, probably like in my 20s, especially like my late 20s when I was extremely depressed. Nothing in my life was going right. I was often feeling suicidal. I was often feeling hopeless and helpless, right? I was definitely cynical about life. I was nihilistic, right? Late 20s and early 30s. If you had asked me like if I believe in black people, I might have said yes, actually. I mean, even back then, I didn't really know anything about black pill, but it sounds very similar to the state I was in back then when I was extremely depressed. Like I said, nothing in my life was going right. Right? I don't know if you have watched my other videos I have uploaded so far. And pretty much most of my videos, I talk about my failures in the past. Right? And I guess my past or my current videos that are uploaded that describe about my past experiences and past failures might indicate that I might be black pilled, but actually ultimately I don't believe in black pill or any association with black pill, because I think there is still areas where you could change in your life, right? There are areas, I would say, in life where it might make you feel like it's completely meaningless and hopeless. And yes, I think there are some aspects in life there where it could completely make you feel like there's no point in trying or trying to improve the situation. Like, I really completely get that there are some aspects like that, but I'm just not sure if I agree with the whole notion that life itself, the world itself, is a completely this nihilistic place. Like, yes, like, I think it's, especially, like, I can kind of see why some people might be black pilled or might associate with this belief, because being unable to, I guess, go out with a girl, meet someone you like, or even have friends when nothing in your life is going right. Yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense that why you would associate yourself with that belief or black pill, right? Because I think the belief, it sounds like the explanation or the belief of black pill kind of gives that almost like validation and confirmation, right? And it makes a complete sense why one would really relate to that belief. However, I think you can still try to make a meaning out of your life, right? And when your life is nothing's going right, yeah, I think it's really hard to kind of like bring yourself up. But yeah, I just don't think that like life itself is completely meaningless. I feel like there's still some positive aspects in life, just as much as there's negative aspects, right? And like, it really sucks because it's kind of true, like what black pill explains, though. There are like, let me read it again, actually. Like, a person who is black pilled believes that the world is fundamentally broken or beyond repair, and that individual collective efforts to improve society are futile, right? Yeah, I think this is kind of true too. There are areas in life where this could be true. But I think looking at the whole world through this lens of black pill, I just don't think that's true. Right? Because there are areas in life where it actually could be repaired. And even your own life, no matter how futile or how hopeless your life may feel, I still really feel like there's still areas you could improve. Just like, I guess, I'm not a living example or anything, but like I said, like, if you had met me like in my late 20s and early 30s, yeah, like, I probably look like someone like who might be black pilled. But I mean, I started to kind of see hope in life, right? No matter how futile and nihilistic and hopeless my situation was back then, right? But yeah, but I think it might take some time for some people, like it did for me, right? I mean, it took me like whole 20s and early 30s to actually come out of that rut in my life, and it was just so bad. I mean, I think I can talk more about, I mean, I think I can keep going on and on, but like, I can definitely talk more about this in my future videos. But yeah, that's where I stand in terms of like whether or not I believe in black pill or if I'm going to be black pilled. Yeah, I just don't agree with this notion that like the world itself is beyond repair, right? Yeah. I hope I answered your question. I feel like I kind of rambled on, but yeah, thanks for this information. Let me see. Where's the chat? Okay. Where was I? Okay, where kind of got lost. Oh, I'm so behind the chat. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, Nick Shuck. Hey, bro, how's it going? I'm doing good. Yeah, I just started my official first live streaming. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for asking. All right, Lil Titan. I think we have to work on how to become more confident with women. Yeah, I agree with you. I myself acknowledge that I have a lot of areas to improve too, right? How to be more confident, how to be more comfortable, not just around women, just around people, right? Because even around guys, I don't feel comfortable. I often feel inferior or self-conscious, right? But yeah, for sure, I agree, right? I think there's always room for improvement, right? Ultimate moralizer, do you still desire a partner or are you MGTOW now? It's best not to make women your priority in my view. MGTOW, I know this one. MGTOW is men goes their own way, right? Yeah, I'm familiar with this one. Do I desire? Yeah, I desire a partner for sure. MGTOW now? No, I don't think so. I don't think yeah, associated with MGTOW either. I think yeah, I do want women. I don't want to go on my own way. That doesn't mean I'm just gonna be like I'm going to be distracted by women, right? But I mean I really want to work on myself, but also I do want to yeah, like find a partner or improve my skills of approaching women or talking to women, right? Yeah, so yeah, I don't think I make tell. Yeah. um all right, Nick Shrug, do you think most men have no options in dating? I feel like no matter what you do, you can't get a woman. Nick, um I will say this: most men do not have options in dating. That's just how it is. That's just a fact. I think I watched this like biologist talk about what happens in the animal kingdom, right? And he was saying how actually um only less than 5% of male species gets to reproduce, whereas like 100% or 95% of the females gets to reproduce, right? So the 95% or 90%, but it was like huge, predominantly like mostly male, right? That do not get to reproduce, right? And actually, he was saying how because of the modern concept of marriage was actually what saved a lot of average and even below average men to be able to secure a partner, right? And he was saying even in human species back in the days, right, where there was like knights, kings, queens, right? Most males, they actually did not even get to reproduce. It was all the kings and what is it? Royal class, right? That got to choose a female partner. But yeah, the most males, they pretty much they really did not have an option, right? And there's a reason why it's called Mother Nature, right? Like, what does nature do? Nature selects, right? If you think about it, I feel like there is no. So, like, I think it really hurts, right, as a male, for not having an option to choose a partner, like most males, right? I'm the most male that don't have an option to choose a partner, right? And I probably, like I have been saying in my um other videos, I laugh so hard because I don't know. Maybe it's my defense mechanism, but I've been saying that I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I always feel like I'm at the bottom of the totem pole because of my height. First of all, right? I'm 5'6". I'm not even average, right? So I'm not even like usually most of the time not even looked at, right? And that just is a fact. Um, and really sucks. It's really hurtful to kind of, I guess, to realize that fact, to acknowledge and to accept that fact. It's sad. And it feels unfair. I mean, in a way, it is unfair, right? Why is it that women gets to choose a partner? Why is it that women gets to, have more options than men, right? Or males, right? But I think it's kind of very simplistic way to look at it though, because like I said, I don't think there is morality in biology, right? There's no morality in Darwinism, right? Only the fittest survive. And this is how the nature has always evolved, right? And I think this is also shown like, I mean, it's just a fact, right? Like if they look at I think they have got this examine like or study the samples of the DNAs of among the women and men, and they found that most of the population have more of women. Like there's more variation of female genes than male genes, which means that only a select number of males got to pass down their genes, whereas most of the women got to reproduce. And it makes sense, right? It's always been like that. So yeah, it feels unfair. Often it feels like I've been wronged by the world. It feels like I've been wronged by God. I get all these kind of like mixed feelings, right? But at the same time, I mean, but is it just, if you think about it, is it just, men that have it hard though? Like just because we don't get to have an option or much options to choose a partner as opposed to women, does that mean it's unfair? Like, I mean, for women, mm, I feel like they struggle with their own problems too, right? It's just not men that they have to struggle, right? I mean, we're on a different biological clock too, right? Women only guess they can reproduce until what age? Like 40, 45, right? If you're pushing it. But whereas males, we can reproduce as long as we're, I don't know, as like we're 70, even 75, 80, right? As long as we can produce, sperms, right? We could reproduce, right? Um, so yeah, and why stop there? Like if you want to like start talking about how life is unfair, I think you have to talk about how there's differences in heights, physical appearances. Some males or females, they're born more attractively, right? Some people, they are born smarter. They are born with higher IQs. There's some people are born with more sports talents. The game is rigged. um, I don't know if you guys have watched that movie. I forget the name of the movie actually, but he talks about how Shakespeare, his one of his work writing was about this rage of unequal distribution of or arbitrary distribution of talent, right? Arbitrary distribution of talent, and that's where the rage comes from, right? Like, how is it fair that some people are born with more talents? What did they even do to deserve that talent? Whereas I'm born with less talent, right? How is that fair, right? And that's where the rage comes from, because it is unfair. It feels unfair, right? Because they did not deserve to get that special talent, and I did not deserve to be left out of getting that, benefiting from that talent, right? But I think I would really try to be careful with this mindset where you feel like life is unfair, women have it better, like most men, like it's worse for, like we can't even get a date. I think I would be really try to be careful with that belief, because I feel like if you start with that mindset, if you dwell on that mindset, I mean, the only path you're going to end up is nihilism. And I think there's strong correlation or association with nihilism is that you develop this mentality that you are the victim of this life. Because that's where I feel like I felt like that was the state I was on, right? I felt like I was a victim of this life. When nothing was going right in my life, when I was not getting any date, when I kept getting rejected from women, right? I felt like I've been wronged by the world, by God. I felt like, what did I do to deserve this treatment, right? What did I even do to deserve this short height? What did I even do? Sorry, guys, the lights turned off, but what did I even do to deserve this unfairness, right? And I started to develop this victim mindset that I'm the victim of this life, that I've been wronged. But once I started to identify myself as a victim, nothing in my life seemed to have, nothing in my life seemed to have meaning, right? But I think I mean, looking back, I can say it now, but I guess when I was experiencing that state, I was in that state. Yeah, it felt very true. Let me turn the light back on, sorry. Let me see. It felt very true. I mean, even now, I feel like sometimes I feel that way too, right? But I don't know, like, am I actually really a victim of this life? I feel like there are certainly areas where I'm not a victim of this life. For example, I was given a healthy body, right? I've never really gotten any like chronic illness or major surgery. I've never broken my leg or arm, any of my limbs. I still have healthy parents. I have parents that allow me to stay with them. I have a job. I was fortunate enough to be able to move to US, right, from Korea, when there's so many people that would die for my opportunity to be able to move here, right, from Korea or any other world, right, or any other country, right? So this mindset or mentality that I'm the victim of this life, I've been wronged, is it factually true? Is it objectively true that I'm the victim? Or could it be that I'm kind of really, my belief or my mindset is laser focused on the things I don't have, laser focused on the things I was not given, right? And once I started to realize that, I kind of started to notice a shift, a switch from how I look at the world. from how I was perceiving the world and from how I was perceiving the interactions with people too. And from how I was perceiving my own life too, right? Wait, where was, how did we even get to this topic actually? I can't forget. I think I'm kind of lost in the track of train of thoughts, but I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry, my English is not, I'm not a native speaker, so I try my best to explain my idea sometimes, but I feel like it's still hard for me to convey like what is it on my mind, right? Like accurately, but I hope that made sense, right? Okay, all right, yeah, so we're on that most men have no options in dating, right? No matter, I feel like no matter what you do, you can't get a woman. I mean, yeah, Nick, I think it could be true. Yeah, I think there's certainly like, I feel like there's limitations, right? I mean, for me too, like I'm 5'6". I'm not attractive. I'm not rich. So, no matter what I do, I might not get a woman, right? I mean, I'm going to talk more about like this in my videos, but once I had like a roommate that was really attractive, and for him getting a woman was no problem. Women with, my college friends, like those cute girls at college, right? Or from church. We went to the same church. She had no issue of finding a woman, right? Women, literally, he was like 6 foot, he was good looking. It was pretty funny, right? Yeah, women would throw themselves at them, right? Like he would be just swarmed and swamped by women. But I feel like it is what it is, right? I feel like it is what it is. But I think the hard part is like accepting that like life is unfair. It's unfair how most guys struggle in dating. But and I still struggle with that thought too, like this feeling of unfairness. But I think I would just, for me at least, like personally, I try to be like careful myself that I don't fall into that like nihilistic viewpoint on dating, right? Yeah, okay. Ultimate moralizer. As for me, I gave up many years ago. Nothing wrong with giving up. And even if like you gave up many years ago, you might change your mindset on dating or on your life or like other aspects of your life. It's, I think I noticed that. I mean, I'm still, I guess I'm almost 40, like, but what I noticed is that my beliefs, my mindset, it continues to change, right? And what I tell you guys now, like today, with this certainty, right? Like I'm thinking, oh, that's why I'm sure, right? Like I'm certain that, not that I'm right, but I'm certain that my thoughts would not be like changed or affected later, right? But I think one thing I realized is that your thoughts continue to evolve. It continues to change, right? Depending on your life circumstances, depending on your life experiences, it can change, right? So yeah, like ultimate moralizer, I think I would still try to keep an open mind, right? That you might like have a different opinion about dating or your life aspects, like maybe in the next year or next few years, right? Okay, Little Titan, yeah, SB known for partying. Yep. Santa Barbara. All to moralize but to each other. Little Titan, remember visiting some of my friends at SB. Oh, you have friends at SB? Nice. Jason Chen at UCSB and not so good looking people you only see in the dorm bathroom. Okay. Ultimate moralizer. I hate the parties. Lol. I would never go to one even as a conscious rapper. Oh, wow. I feel like, I mean, I do hate the fact that I have to be surrounded by strangers, but I don't know, like when I drink, I guess, yeah, I could like it. Because my social anxiety just like disappears, it dissipates. My social anxiety once I start drinking. By the way, I've stopped drinking for about 2 years now. But back then, like in my 20s, when I was gambling, my life was pretty much like pretty messed up. I was drinking a lot too. But yeah, back then I remember I would like get intoxicated, get pretty wasted, and go to parties and do stupid things. All right. Hi Chuchi, 3K for 2 baht, 1 baht, 1200 is cheaper. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty expensive down here. And actually, like major cities, California, or I feel like any major city is like pretty expensive, right? Okay. The cost of living is very expensive in the UK too. Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like cost of living everywhere is getting just higher and higher, right? Probably because of the inflation, right? Yeah. So like, just tough out there for everyone. TJ, roommates are risky life. What if they stop working or stop caring about paying rent? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Yeah, lots of people are gonna end up homeless. Hard times. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of too. Like, I noticed that in the morning. So like, I go to a gym in the morning, right? And like, there's a parking lot in the gym in front of the gym. It's a pretty big parking lot, and I noticed recently, especially like the last few years after COVID hit, I see a lot of cars or people living out of their cars. Like there's a lot of cars parked in the parking lot in front of the gym, and yeah, I've seen a lot of people living out of their car. You could tell like they have like a lot of stuff, stuffed inside their car. You could see, right? It's just a sad situation. Kaizen, I've been to college parties and they're pretty much too loud to flirt with any women or even talk to your buddy. I think that's the whole point, no? You don't have to talk. All right. Little Titan. Berkeley was my dream school. Was sad and I didn't get the chance to finish my 2 years of junior college. I gave up about my dream school, but when I found out school was a scam, I was glad I did not commit myself to that dream. On my way to buy my own house pretty soon. That's nice, Little Titan. Way to go, man. That's nice. Congrats. Yeah, I feel like college education, educational system. I feel like it's such a scam now. I definitely feel that way too. It's such a cash cow these days, right? You could, I honestly feel like you could get the same quality of education, if not better, from just watching online lectures. And you could actually, right now, like there's a lot of free online courses that's offered by even like Ivy League schools, right? Like Harvard, they offer like those I forget the course name. Was it CS 50X or 60X or something like that? The intro to computer science. You could access that class, right? Just at a tip of at your fingertip, right? Then get the same education, right? Yeah, I really feel like these days, like I do feel like it's a scam, right? I mean, the prices has been going up, spiking up, hiking up, like significantly without really the quality of education going up, right? And also the issue with state school, like such as UC Berkeley, right? Their students to professor or instructor ratio is just crazy high. So you barely get any face time with your professor, like one-on-one time. I didn't when I was at Berkeley, I didn't feel like it was the instructor that was actually teaching. I felt like the GSI, the graduate students, were the ones that was actually teaching. Because I wouldn't really get any face time, like one-on-one interaction or more personal interaction with the professor. Yeah, I just did not feel like I was getting the like my money's worth, right? Yeah, and man, it's just so. Every time you go into lecture, it's so cramped up. Like, yeah, not worth it. Yeah, if I could do it all over again, I think I would do something else. Like, I would choose a different school. Ahmed Khan, what? Thank you for that. That's a super chat, right? Oh my god, it just popped up on my screen. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, what did you score on SAT if you remember? Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to say, but this one I can share for sure, honestly. So back then when I was so I'm on old school, right? I'm a millennial, and when I was taking the SAT, I believe the full score was 1600. Yeah, for sure it was 1600, and I think I scored 1150 or 1180. That was my that's really low actually for me to be able to get accepted to Berkeley. So I think I actually got lucky, right? Um, but yeah, my score was low. I think I did okay on the math, but verbal reasoning, I just couldn't do it. Like, I low-key just gave up on verbal. I kind of tried to study by going to SAT prep for like 2 or 3 months over the summer, but my score did not improve at all, no matter how hard I tried. And this guy, like this one of the instructor, he kept telling me, like he was saying, what he would told me? Hey Kenji, if you can handle math, you can handle English. I'm like, fuck no, like that's not true. Yeah, like I've been trying so hard actually for that, those 3 months, but like I think I got like 750, 780 on the math. But yeah, I just did really bad on the math portion. I mean on the English verbal portion. So yeah, he kept telling me, like, I guess he was trying to motivate me, right? But it was such a false hope he was trying to he ended up giving me, right? Yeah, my score did not improve after 3 months of like working hard. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it. It doesn't seem like it's gonna work out, so I just took it. Yeah, and then I think I took it twice, and I got a pretty similar score. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn it in. And Berkeley, I didn't even think I was gonna get in, but I still turned it in, just in case they might make a mistake and accept me, right? So yeah. All right. Sorry guys, I'm really behind the chat. I'm really sorry. I'm a noob at live streaming. But thanks for understanding. Okay, where was I? I have to scroll up all the way. Oh wow, there's a lot of chats. But thank you guys for like stopping by for my live streaming. I didn't. Wow, there's 70 people now. Wow, this is insane. Yeah, thanks for stopping by though, for all those people that are joining the live streaming. I really appreciate all your support. I really do. Thank you so much. Okay, where was I? Where were we? Yeah, so Little Titan, you didn't miss out. Like, at least from my own experience for going to Berkeley, like, I don't think you missed out that much. Actually, going to junior college was the smartest decision you probably made. Like, I would have done the same if I could, like, was it given a second chance, I would go to JC instead of like straight going to college or 4-year college, like straight. All right. Tom Wilson, can you keep the live streams up after? I want to see the whole thing since I missed the beginning. Yeah, so I think I think I have set up the streaming video to be automatically uploaded on my channel, but I noticed that it takes about 24 hours for the live chat to be uploaded. So if you try to actually watch it today, like after I end the live streaming, right after, you're not going to be able to see the chat. It's not going to appear, right? But I think you have to wait until it gets processed. Yeah, so you might not be able to see the chat, but you'll see the video, right? Me talking. All right, little Titan. There are many ways to succeed in life, not just school. Yeah, that is very true. You know, like I wish, you know, I really believe that your statement when I was young, right? Um, but you know, unfortunately, I really thought that school was everything, right? School would dictate my life success, right? Career success. Like my parents have told me, right? They had when they moved here, they had pretty much brought their, you know, like their belief, their values, or what actually, or what at least like worked in Korea back then, to America, right? So they had this mindset that, oh, like if you go to good school, good college, you're set for life, right? Yeah, they made it seem like once I get accepted to college, like everything's like smooth sailing, right? I yeah. So yeah, I mean, I wish that like I really believed that like yeah, I had more, I had more open mind maybe like back then. But yeah, I think I was just as close minded as my parents were, because that's yeah, I was kind of like you know, raised up, right? Almost brainwashed, right? By my parents. Actually, there's another super chat. Oh my god, Ahmed Khan. Thank you so much for your donation. Let's say you're 24. What would you do? Mm, you know, so let's 24, right? I think it sounds like mm, if the question is asking me like what would I do if I could go back almost like to that age, right? Mm, I think I would have tried my best to be more open minded about my career path. So back then, when I barely got accepted to Berkeley, I was very fixated. I had a very fixed mindset about my career path. My parents raised me to believe that the only true respectable profession is um, white collar jobs, right? Like such as doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, dentists, and engineers, right? So I had that belief too. I thought any other job out there that's not doctors, lawyers, pharmacists, dentists, right, are not actual jobs. It's not respectable jobs. And I really believe that people are actually going to look down on me, right? I really believe that like people are going to put me down, not respect me if I did not hold those jobs, right? That I'm not going to be respected. So, but now realizing that like now that I'm 38, then you know, I wish that I had kept my mind more open to more options, to different types of career path, right? So yeah, I hope that I answer your question. And yeah, I hope that, because I think my gambling addiction, it wasn't really the root cause of my life. The root cause of my life was that I felt stuck in my life because I was trying to do something I was neither interested in nor was good at, right? Which was pre-med, right? I was trying to go to medical school, but yeah, it didn't work out for me because yeah, I couldn't do it. I was not smart enough. I was not motivated enough. But had I chosen a different major that actually maybe such as like psychology, I think I've been okay. Because like I noticed that even when I was younger, I noticed that I was reading a lot of like psychology articles, studies, research. It was just so fascinating to me, right? Yeah, I just wished I had paid more attention to what my heart was speaking, right? Instead of listening to my parents and what the societal standards for, you know, Asian kids or Asians, and yeah, like how would I would be like perceived by other people, right? If my job is like glamorous or lucrative, respectable, right? So yeah, I hope that answer your question, Amit. Thanks for the donation again. Really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. I have to scroll up again. Yeah. Okay. Simple method. What do you do for a job, and would you ever consider doing a trade? Um, I've been asked this question before. But just I don't feel comfortable enough like to share exact like my job, what I do for a job. But I can't tell you that it's not a STEM job. And it's not a high paying field. I don't get paid like 6 figures or anything like that. All right. And would I ever consider doing a trade? I actually have considered it, but mm, I'm actually pretty bad at like fixing things or repairing things, and I'm remotely interested. Like anything breaks in my house, I just can't fix it. And maybe that might be because my dad has always put me down every time I make a mistake when I try to fix something in my house. And I make a mistake or I mess it up, he would yell at me. He would like put me down by telling me like, or yelling at me saying like, you're so stupid, you're so dumb, how could you like mess that up so badly, it's so simple, how do you not even know that? So like I was always criticized, right? Like for any mistake I made. And a lot of times every time I try to fix something, change something like in my household, and then I messed up, and yeah, I always got yelled at. And maybe that really made me like want to stay away from like having anything to do with any sort of like trade related work. But yeah, like I've thought of it for like maybe 1 second or a few minutes, but I realized, yeah, I've never been interested in doing a trade. Yeah, come visit the Midwest. Yeah, like maybe. Yeah. Val mode Kenju. Oh, hello. Now I recognize your name. Welcome to the live stream. All right, 61 people watching still. Oh my gosh, you guys are not bored of me yet? I'm so behind the chat too, but I really appreciate you guys staying on. Wow, that's crazy. All right, Dragon Cam 13, keep up the good work. Enjoy your videos. Thank you, thank you. I really, every time like someone compliments on my videos, I'm really thankful. I'm also thinking like, man, like how is that even possible though? Like I I don't know. I just can't fathom how people could like my videos, because I think I shared this in the other live stream, but like my sister, when I was toying with the idea of like starting a YouTube channel like many years ago, she told me that, so I have two younger sisters, but the one is like 2 years apart, 2 years younger than me, right? We're really close. She told me like she would like be very honest with me, right? And she would be like, so I was sharing with her this idea of like, oh, like what if I start a YouTube channel and share about my story, like my failure story, right? How I dropped out of Berkeley, how I got yelled at this like roommate or lab partner by my lab partner, how I was like failing all my classes, right? And how I was like late to the lab one time. And then you know what she told me? She told me, Oppa is like big brother, right? Or bigger brother, older brother. Oppa, no one's gonna be interested in your story. Like, what makes you think they're gonna be interested in hearing about your story? They're not gonna be interested in you. Like, no one wants to know about you. Like, you're nobody, right? I was like, yeah, you're right. And then like I just gave up, right? I just gave up, right? So yeah, like that, like idea, like toying with the idea of like starting a YouTube channel like many years ago, it just flew out the window until recently. I don't know. I just thought like I think I had the burning desire to start it, like to at least give it a try, right? See where it goes. Yeah, I'm really glad I did. Right? Okay. Let's see. Unordinary. I think men amongst men aren't awkward. We have a better understanding and more accepting of social hiccups and behavior amongst ourselves. Unordinary, I'm not sure though. Like one thing I noticed is that when there's a lot of, maybe it could be my projection or it could be my bias, right? But one thing I noticed is that, yeah, I've been to like meetups where there's a lot of guys. Usually, okay, so usually mixed like gender meetup, right? Where there's like both females and males. I noticed that usually it's predominantly males, right? And then there's like a couple of females, right? So one time I actually went to this social anxiety group, right? Meetup. And then there was like maybe 15 guys with like 2 or 3 girls, right? But one thing I noticed is that there's like this little tension between males, like maybe sizing you up, or maybe like, I don't know, like trying to look maybe like tougher or like trying to impress the girls. But I don't know, like it could be my projection or misinterpretation, but I noticed this subtle but sure tension between males. They like, I don't know. So I usually try to avoid male meetups, and like I've been saying, like usually I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, right? So I'm the I'm the easy target, right? To for the bigger guys or more successful or more good-looking guys to inflate their egos, right? But it's okay. Yeah. All right. Dragon Cam 13. I've noticed from personal experience that social media helps triumph over social anxiety. Mm, social media helps triumph over social anxiety. Yeah, I think I could see that, right? Yeah, so like putting yourself out there, right? Yeah, I think I could see that. Rao01, what do you do for fun nowadays? Like I feel like these days my fun is doing YouTube, creating YouTube channel, recording my videos, and just checking like how many subscribers I have gained. That's so crazy. And like I'm still in disbelief. Makes me smile. So like I even stopped playing League now. I just look at my YouTube channel, and like I really enjoy reading every comment and replying to every comment and clicking on that heart. I feel like it gives me that a little dopamine kick, right? I almost feel like I'm getting addicted, but yeah. All right. Dragon Cam 13. Better to take the psych meds than to not take them at all, to be honest. Better to feel like a zombie than let depression ruin your life. I think I kind of agree with this statement. Like you. Oh, the lights went out again. Let me see. In order for you to get better, you need to be alive. And psych meds can really save your life, right? And if you're really contemplating between life and death, like take it. Like there's nothing wrong with taking psych meds. Just like how people with diabetes, they take their meds, right? Yeah, it's like a support system. Sometimes I think meds do get a bad rep, and sometimes rightfully so, because of the big pharma. And I mean, I could go rant about this big pharma like the whole video, but I'd rather not. But yeah, but still there's some valid benefits for taking meds. So yeah, I would highly encourage, first consult with your doctor, but don't don't pull, or yeah, don't like jump to conclusion that it's not gonna help you without even trying it, right? I would at least like seek help first, talking to your psychiatrist and stuff, right? Okay. Okay, we're don't better to take route. Yeah, I'm from East Coast, New York City. Oh, I see. So that's yeah, that's why you're like you're 3 hours behind, right, TJ? Okay, or an ordinary. Please don't start with this pill stuff. FFs. Kenji, don't even entertain that pill crap. It's cringy online stuff you never hear in real life. You know, on ordinary. Hmm. Oh, sorry. My life. Oops. Okay. I hope it turned off. Okay. You know, these people, or I don't want to label them or anything, but people who associate with this, you know, like pill theory or red pill, blue pill, or earlier, you know, someone mentioned black pill. I learned about that one. I think I really empathize with people who, you know, talk about this, you know, pill theory, and you could, I guess, I don't know. I feel like what I see is that a lot of males that are struggling, right? It's almost feels like their pain is palpable, right? And although I don't necessarily agree with the way they, I guess, express their opinion or dissatisfaction, or, but I feel like I can at least understand where they come from, right? I feel like they come from a place of pain, suffering, struggles in life, a lot of probably disappointments in their past relationships. Maybe with not just with women, but possibly with their parents, maybe with their friends, maybe they may have lack of direction in their life, right? And just because I empathize with them doesn't mean that I agree with their verbiage, right? However, like, I just don't think it's, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to completely like dismiss them, right? Because I think we need a space where we can talk about stuff. Like, no matter maybe how frowned upon their viewpoint is about life. Again, like, it's not that I support their viewpoint, but at least I think it's might be good to have that space to discuss, right? I think a lot of males, suffering males, they really have no place to go when they're suffering. A lot of times when they're suffering, they're shamed for their suffering. Often we hear the statement like, man up, you know, don't be weak. Why are you being so weak, right? So yeah, I mean, just I'm not really sure. Yeah. Uh, so yeah. Well, thanks for the advice, though. Yeah, on ordinary. Okay, Dragon Cam 13. He won't entertain it. No need to worry. Kaizen Productions. Black Pill is more about how physical looks and genetics play a role in dating. That's what I've seen. Yeah, I mean, physical looks and genetics do play a role in dating for sure, right? And dating, it in job application, right? When you look for a job, even when you get like sentencing and like the jail system, prison system, right? Yeah, you like more attractive, physically attractive people, they get less sentencing for this exact same crime. Can you believe that? Right? Yeah. And yeah, just when you're usually attractive, you definitely get a lot of benefits. Probably get a head start in a lot of many different ways, right? Um, okay. Dragon Camp 13. Bitter truth is that you have no self-esteem. That is. Proof that life eventually gets better. Happy that you broke through the initial depression. Keep coping, Mr. Rao. Too many outliers for it to be true. To be fair, even though life may suck, it is changeable. Sometimes all you need is change of scenery and new circles. I literally know a 5'2" Ogo man lit Ogo? Is that ugly? Who had 2 kids with a beautiful woman. Laugh my ass loud. Yeah, I mean Dragon Cam, yeah, there's still always exceptions. This I feel like life the interesting thing about life is that there's always nuance for everything. There's no absolute truth for anything, right? So you could be an exception, I could be an exception, despite my all my disadvantages, right? And yeah, like I think it's probably better to try to focus on the things I can control, right? um yeah. Wow, there are way always outliers. Dragon, you doofs does not mean it disproves the black pill. Just have self-esteem, bro. More on NPC. Raul, go and say that to a 5'2" sub 5 guy. He can really change it. Dragon, you simp. Sure. Raul, okay, so I think, yeah, I mean, I can agree with your sentiment for sure. Like I think often, I guess, like that statement, like just have self-esteem, bro, right? Statement. Yeah, I feel like it can rub a lot of the people the wrong way because often, okay, so self-esteem is not something you choose to have or not to have, right? It's something that occurs or arises naturally after many, I guess, positive reinforcements, positive interactions with people, or many positive successes, right? So yeah, like I think that kind of statement, just have self-esteem, bro, kind of statement. It may be like yeah, it may feel dismissive, right? Because you don't really choose your self-esteem per se, but when your like life outlook starts to change, shifts to a more positive outlook, that's when you start to have self-esteem, at least in some areas where you have more positive outcomes, right? So yeah, I hope that kind of makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I don't think like the black pill theory I just read, I don't think it's completely entirely untrue. There's some like uncomfortable harsh truth of what the black pill talks about, right? Like I don't think it's entirely untrue. But as I said earlier, what I disagree with is the sentiment that because certain things in life are unchangeable or unimprovable, it means like you're headed, or you're meant to have like be cynical or nihilistic about life. I just yeah, that's where I disagree with. I mean, I may be wrong, but yeah. All right. Kaizen, I don't think my views on dating can fall into any pill, but I will say the black pill at least acknowledge some unpleasant truths. Yeah, right, Kaizen. I think it's all about balance, right? Right? Without acknowledging the truth, the unpleasant truth, how can we truly talk about positive aspects? Like I have explained in my other video, like you should be able to talk about your feelings, even if they may be negative. We should be able to talk about our anger. We should be able to talk about our sadness, about our depression, about maybe our resentment, our bitterness, maybe our cynicism, right? Nihilism, right? And yeah, there is some cold, unpleasant truth out there for sure. I absolutely agree. By shying away from those uncomfortable truths doesn't really help us to, I guess, kind of explore our life in a more constructive and more honest way, right? It's almost like we're turning a blind eye if we fail intentionally, like don't even look at these uncomfortable truths, right? Often when people talk about how people that are more good looking, more attractive, have advantage in many aspects of life, including dating, job, looking for a job, getting a job, even the amount of income you're gonna make over your lifetime. mm, yeah, like if we don't like even acknowledge that fact, like I mean, who are you exactly like trying to help other than, I guess, serve yourself, right? Like mm, but I feel like sometimes the people that refuse to talk about like undeniable uncomfortable truths, they do that because it's makes them uncomfortable. It's kind of harsh, like it's hard, right? It's really difficult to accept some ugly or uncomfortable truth of life because it seems like it's so harsh, and in a way it is harsh, right? Like I said earlier, arbitrary distribution of talent, right? It's a rage, right? From that. Okay. TJ, how do you view the importance of networking? Even if you're not particularly fond of people, do you think it's still worth trying to befriend others since you never know when they might benefit for you? This is an interesting one because I used to believe that networking is like important in my 20s. Um, but usually if you're not able to provide a mutual benefit, those or networks or people you network with, they don't really serve a much purpose because you yourself have nothing to offer. So I'm not sure if that's the case for you, but at least for me, I didn't really have anything to offer for them. So there was no point for them to network with me to, I guess, secure and maintain our friendship or relationship, right? And I also didn't see the point because if I try to network with them but I have nothing to offer, it's pretty much like one-way street, right? And I mean, it just doesn't work like that, right? When you network with people, like there has to be mutual benefit, I think. And if since I had nothing to offer, like yeah, that kind of friendship and network, it's just not wasn't gonna pan out, right? And I think this also could depend on what kind of I guess field you work in, right? Sometimes people that works in the business field, I believe, networking is very important, right? So like yeah, I would say like go for it. But maybe like, and usually also like I've seen a lot of or some of my friends that studies computer science, they got their first job through friends too. So yeah, networking could be important if you know how to utilize it. But for me, like, I just never got a chance to utilize that, right? Then still, I think it worked out okay, right? I when I was getting my job I'm working at right now, last year I didn't really network with anyone, right? I just like saw a job posting on online and on Indeed and applied and got an interview and yeah, I got the job. So yeah, I think it really depends, but I don't think that like networking is like life or death or make it or break it situation. Like, yeah, maybe if you network with people, it might benefit you, but it might not. If you don't network with people, it's not the end of the world, right? Yeah. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Yeah, it's much easier online than in real life. Yeah, for sure, though. But I think you miss out on that, in-person interaction, right? When you network with people just online, and I feel like networking with people online, it tends to mm, fade or not as strong, right? Because there's no accountability in a way, right? Because you haven't even met the other person, and yeah, there's no like sense of accountability, I feel like. But yeah, all right, Derek Alfonso. Um, wait, am I in the right order? Oh yeah, on the order. Me neither, Kenji. It's a warped frame of reference in my opinion, and often has a sampling bias. Yep, it could have sampling bias for sure. Yeah. Um, Dragon Can. Honestly, making certain friends was how I ended up dating most of the women I've dated. You don't even have to be the best looking or the tallest, just be fascinating and charming. Much easier online as well than. Oh, that's what you're saying? Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, yeah, I think I read it wrong, but my bad. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, like when you network with people and then you could meet the women or men if you're looking for your partner. Yeah, like I can definitely see the benefit of that too, because there's like mutual friends like women or men. They tend to have like more trust if you know someone, right? If you both know like have a mutual friend, right? So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Derek Alfonso, would you like to train wrestling with me someday, Kenji? Right now, I can't. I'm broke. No job. Still with parents, but hopefully we can train together. Laugh. Yeah, sure. Why not? Just don't break my back or neck. Sure, why not? Yeah. I tried kickboxing for like 2 or 3 months, but I quit because oh man, it was hard. Like I hated getting hit. Like I hated getting punched. Yeah. All right. The unordinary. I disagree. Every man has an option, even mathematically. Yeah, that may be true actually. Yeah. Like I think, like I said, like it's. I think like a lot of facts about life, no matter how factual it may look, I think there's always nuance, right? So yeah, you might be right, ordinary. Um, all right, Dragon Camp 13. I believe that many do have options. They just need to be in the right circles. In your case, Mr. Kanji, you are a decent looking guy. If you were in Gen Z circles, you would have a chick by now. I agree with you. Really, I don't know though. Yeah, well, yeah, I maybe. Oh, I missed out, huh? On that Gen Z circles. Oh no. All right. Okay, I'm so still behind the chat. All right, so sorry, guys. So not every woman is getting bathed out here. Plenty of homeless brokies. Plenty of that stuck on dating apps. Yup. Raumo Dragon the inbred doofa see this as fair. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Dragging the inbred to sorry, Raul. I don't know what that means. Um Dragon Camp 13 true. Raul, you're probably 10. Okay. I think you guys are kind of talking, chatting with each other, right? Dragon. All right, TJ, do you believe in aliens? Also, what would you say and do if you saw a real alien in front of you? Would you ask it to take you with them? No. Do I believe in aliens? I'm like conflicted. I'm like half and half probably. Um, but yeah, I have this. What do you call it? Inkling? Or yeah, like or um, yeah, I do wonder if there is aliens. Yeah, I always wonder, especially like there's this like new footage that comes out, right? That just storms the internet. Um, that looks so legit and real, right? Um, would I ask it to take me with them? You know what? I actually might. And then I might ask them to like give me superpower or something. Or give me like turn me into a 6 foot 6 foot guy. All right. Um okay, on ordinary. They don't get to choose on. Unfortunately for women, physical intimacy for from their perspective is relationship, whereas men don't consider that anything but physical activity mostly. You know, I think I agree, kind of agree with that sentiment too, right? Like, I think men are more visual, right, oriented, or visual, what do you say, like, yeah, oriented or focused, or we're just like we care more about like we're just like visually driven, right? When it comes to beauty and whatnot. And also, yeah, we can be more physical to activity. Like we value more like physical activity, right? Yeah. Um, all right. That's where they end up playing themselves. I wish men would focus less on physical intimacy because then they would realize relationship is not equal to hookup, right? Um, yeah, that's kind of true. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like we really like most males. I feel like we really don't really have much option to like choose either like a relationship or physical intimacy. We're just trying to get whatever we can get, right? Kind of desperate, like most most men probably. um, Artin, the game is rigged. You know what? I think there's every game we play, there's always an aspect where it's rigged, right? If you look at capitalism, there's certainly a part or aspect that is rigged, right? Look at our core system, legal system, right? There's definitely aspect that's rigged too, right? People with power and money, they usually get away with a lot of crimes. They usually wouldn't. Most people wouldn't be able to get away, right? Um, yeah, I mean, there's definitely aspect there, every aspect of our life where it's like rigged. Um, and it's sad, it's maddening, but I guess it's just part of life too. Okay, on ordinary, there's a paradox in ladies saying they require a connection to engage physically, yet each of those encounters never worked out. That just bond after bond broken. Um, well, isn't it like actually like isn't it like aren't women also as visually like driven too? Like, I mean, like we both men and women don't we initially have to be like physically attracted to the other person first initially, even before we consider like the other person's like personality or emotional bonding connection, how whether or not we click, right? Like so like physical attraction, I think more for most men, and both men and women, does matter, right? It's like initial screening bar, right? um but I could be wrong, and I'm pretty sure there's always an exception too, but I think generally speaking, I think that's um how it is like for most men and women. Dragon 13, his somewhat has a disadvantage in California because he's surrounded by East Asians. Yeah, like there's a lot of good looking East Asians. Ralmam, Robocop, the Dragon Camp 13. But if he was in my area in high school, a Korean guy transferred and he had 20 chicks surrounding him just because he was Korean, and this is the southern. Oh my gosh, I ended up in the wrong state, didn't I? Why did my parents bring me to California? They should have brought me to the Midwest, no? All right, TJ, you talk about men having no option, but I've recently seen a video about leftover women in China and other countries where they are 30 plus and they are asking for rich, tall, have houses, monthly allowance. I think that's a different type of option though, right? I think most men wouldn't want a woman who is like looking uh for a guy that can provide just they wouldn't want a woman that is just meeting the man just for the sole fact of the man being a provider for them, right? Like I don't know, like for like you have to be rich, tall, have houses, monthly allowance. It sounds like they're just looking for someone to provide for their life and to maybe like to provide for their lifestyle. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like they are looking for someone for like a true truthful relationship, if that makes sense, right? So I think yeah, I think it doesn't really like I don't think it means that we males have options in that sense, right? Because like I feel like those type of women that are looking for the man that's for the sole purpose of having a provider, it's really not considered as an option. But then again, I could be wrong. Art in somewhat disadvantaged is an understatement. Western dating standards of men are extremely unfair. Um, Western way dating standard of men are extremely unfair. Maybe, but I don't know. I think it's just that like with the advent of um you know those online dating apps, right? I think it pretty much gave the whole new I guess what do you call it, the sea of options like for both men and women, but usually for few selective men and for a lot of like for majority of women. Yeah, like I think it those dating apps, online dating apps, like completely changed the dynamic for how the women, both the women and men interact with each other, right? And how they engage each other to in when they try to find a partner, right? And also um there's no limitation to um what do you call it, like since the radius of the dating pool is so large now, right? Due to the fact that you could actually match with someone that lives like 100 miles, 200 miles, 300 miles away from you, right? It gives you the whole new, like, I don't know, the sea of like pool of options for both men and women, right? So yeah, I mean, I think it's due to like mostly like this the dating apps and just the dating dynamic change. Because I remember when I was in my early 20s, when we didn't really have that many dating apps back then, it wasn't a norm. People would date within their social circles, right? Usually, like meeting people outside like your social circles, or someone that lives like 300 miles away or like 200 miles away, like, and you like randomly just meet up and hook up. And it, it wasn't a thing, right? It wasn't something that was occurring back then. So yeah, in that sense, maybe yeah, like the standards, it might be like even like extremely unfair for men, maybe. But um yeah, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. mm, they're TJ, they're old. They have to settle with guys who are in the bottom of the barrel as rich guys don't want older women. I think that could be true too. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's sad. Okay, ordinary. In my opinion, I think the disadvantage in SoCal is a large dominant Central Americans. They are just great looking people, and the culture pervades. In other states further from the Southwest, you see a greater change in environment than assortative mating, as we should. The problem is because men tend to initiate that the women think they don't have any burden to be attractive. Um, wait, I kind of got lost. Wait, hold on. Let me turn. Wait, sorry. Can you guys hear me okay though? Is my like audio okay? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Um, all right, back to the. Oh wow, I'm so behind. So behind the chat. So sorry. Um. Oh, where was I? I'm sorry. Okay. Let me actually read it one more time. Sorry. In my opinion, I think the disadvantage in SoCal is a largely dominant Central Americans. They are just great looking people and the culture pervades. In other states further from the Southwest, you see a greater change in environment and sort of mating. So you should. The problem is because men tend to initiate that women think they don't have any burden to be attractive. Oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like you're like where you're, how you're, what kind of people you're surrounded by, and what kind of culture you're surrounded by, and yeah, it does matter, right? Cultural factor does matter. I've heard that like how when you go to South America, women can be more maybe assertive. They are more mm, proactive in terms of like approaching. Like it's not so uncommon where women would approach men too. That's what I heard. I could be wrong, but and they're a lot more friendly, and even like when men approach them, they are more welcoming. They say. Um, Even if they don't may not not like the guy, but they're still welcoming the fact that they're like men are approaching them. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Dragon Cam 13 with Central America, he has the disadvantage because it's not seen as rare or exotic, but just another Asian guy compared to the South as a whole, where Korean is definitely gonna get attention. Yeah, I mean, like if I'm like a rare ethnicity, yeah, I think probably I could be seen as rare or exotic, and which could lead to me having more success and gaining with women and gaining more attention from women, possibly. Yeah. All right. Artin, you can be Korean and attractive though. Are you talking about me, Artin? Oh man, because I think I noticed that like when some people oh, like they automatically think that like when you tell them you're Korean, or they automatically think that you're like attractive or something. Like when you meet someone online and then you tell them, oh, you're Korean, or like they don't know what you look like, right? And then you tell them you're Korean, then they will be like, oh, you're Korean, like Korean. I love Korean people. I love Korean men. They're so good looking. They're tall. They're hot. I love BTS. And I'm like, okay, you're, you know, I don't know, your image of like normal Korean guys is far from like, you know, from the truth, the reality, right? Your definition of Korean guys is all BTS, all these like idol groups, right? Where most of Korean men don't even look like that, right? So yeah, all right. Okay, Yuri. Hey Kenji, you should get a ring light or something of that sort so you don't have to run your car battery down. Yeah, I know, right? Ugh, man, I didn't think about that, but I'll get that one for sure. Ring light is what I need. Yeah, hopefully this battery doesn't die. But I do have AAA, so maybe, yeah, even if it dies. But I know it's bad for the battery if it dies actually completely. Oh well. All right, let's see. Okay, Artin. At the end of the day, your height and appearance is more important now more than ever in the global dating market. Um, yeah, like physical appearances, I do think, yeah, I kind of do agree with your Artin. Yeah, I think it um mm, yeah, they are more important than ever probably. Um, I think the times have changed. Um, and what women want and what they value, what they desire. Um, you could say they have higher standards now, which could be true. But it's also see that as like a competing market, right? Um, so I mean, if someone is more attractive, they're funnier, they're more successful. It's more likely that 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 man is going to have a higher chance of winning the women, um, compared to the man who's not as tall, not as attractive, right? Um, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably true. And I think also it doesn't help that now, I don't know, like a lot of media and like portrays a certain standards of beauty and um I guess attractive face or whatever, attractive like role model whatever, like they kind of continuously I guess show that to the public or to people, and maybe unconsciously or subconsciously um they might be, what do you call it, they might be conditioned, right, to want that. Maybe I could be completely wrong, but um yeah, if you're shown enough like attractive faces as if it's normal, like all these like celebrities, Korean celebrities, and uh pretty models, whatever, yeah, like your standards might go even higher, or you might start to have develop like kind of like a fantasy almost, right? I don't know. um okay, oh wow, still 39 people on the live stream. Wow, okay, thanks for, by the way, thanks for watching and staying on. Wow, I've been streaming for 2 hours now. That's crazy. Okay, I don't feel the time passing, but wow, thank you so much, guys. All right, okay. Okay, I think you guys are chatting with each other. So I'll skip the chat. Sarah, hi Kenji, it's very insightful. I love your storytelling. Hi Sarah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, thanks for your kind words. Yeah, I'm glad that you are liking my storytelling. Thank you, thank you. Artin, the best thing to do, man, is just try to move past dating in general. It's hard to give up on it, but it's more important that you spend time doing the things you genuinely enjoy. But what if like you want both, right? Like, what if you want mm, genuinely want a meaningful relationship with women, or even this? I think this applies to women too, though, right? Um, Women who are not so fortunate enough in the looks department or physical appearance department, I'm pretty sure they struggle too, right? Just as much as men. But like we all, I think deep inside most people, both men and women, we do want that genuine connection, genuine relationship with others, right? So yeah, I mean, if you're truly not interested in dating, yeah, like that's fine. Like more power to you, right? But if you are interested in meeting someone you really want to connect with, you really want to genuinely want to feel the emotional connection with, I think it would might be better to just keep trying, right? Instead of like dismissing it. Um, yeah, I think that's my take. I think. Okay, simple method. What do you do for a job, and would you consider learning a trade? I think did I answer that question. Yeah, I don't. I can't. I don't feel comfortable enough to share like what exactly my job is, but yeah, I work in the non-STEM field and I don't make much money, and I have learned consider learning a trade, but like yeah, it's not for me. I've never been actually interested in it, and I'm not good at it. Um, yeah, all right, done ordinary. Think you guys are still talking to each other. Probably sounds like okay. Dragon Kenji, you don't need to be rich, and you are decently attractive. You just need to fight the anxiety, my brother. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, yeah, I do need to fight the anxiety. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like this is what I need to work on for sure. So yeah, sometimes like I try my best to, or my hardest to go out of my comfort zone to meet people. Yeah, but thanks for the advice. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Uh, just learn a trade, bro. You're too funny, bro. All right. Cause Dragon Count, cause I swear, um, to God, I was broke and dating college educated chicks older than me at 19, and I'm not the best looking either. Cause trust me, guys, 5'6" guys come from south of the border and easily finesse some American chick for a place to stay. Oh wow, that's impressive. Wait, so Dragon Count, are you saying you're um 5'6", or people you know are 5'6" that can like finesse some American chicks? Okay, Dragon, are you white? Hey Kenjo, you should make me a mod to protect you from these. Oh man, bro, you're too funny. Um, I'm of majority of African descent. Okay, cause the dating game is whole different. I'm sure, especially in the West, Artin. Okay, I think you guys are probably talking to each other, right? Okay, I might just scroll down. On ordinary, yes, since the inflation, but also the increase in population, demand, and competition, and therefore more money being printed. Yep, exactly. No more gadget lab. Dude, I have been girlfriendless for 2 years, big sad. Yeah, no more gadget lab. I feel for you, my dude. Yeah, there's no like way around it in terms of like changing your emotion, right? I mean, it is sad. It is depressing. Like when you want a relationship, when you want a girlfriend or a boyfriend, right? And then you just it doesn't seem to work out, right? And you know, 2 years is a long time. It can be a long time for someone who has been wanting a relationship, right? Yeah, all I can say is like I feel for you, but let's not let's not give up, right? Let's try our best. Let's, you know, try to make of make what do you call it, like let's try to work with what we got, right? Hopefully it might work out, it might not, but yeah, thanks for sharing your experience. mm, Art in 2 years is nothing, man. That's kind of true though. Oh man, it's kind of true though. I'm sorry, but normal gadget lab 2 years is nothing, man. What are you talking about? 2 years pass by so fast. Try 10 years. Try 10 years, gonna come back. Oh man. Uh, okay. I'm gonna try to skip some of the chats, not to ignore you guys or anything, but I feel like I'm really behind the chat, so I kind of want to get caught up. All right. Yeah, you guys are talking about economy, how brutal it is. Yep, economy, man. It's brutal out there. It's hard. What can we do? It's brutal. Copilot AI chatbots. All right, Damit Khan. Yeah, no worries. Just curious. You seem hella high IQ. No, I'm actually no low IQ, man. No offense, but how Berkeley then? I thought maybe you got 1600. You sound hella smart, not gonna lie. What did you get in math? Yeah, I think I answered that one, right? Yeah. I got like 750, 7080, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, somehow I got in. I think they might have made a mistake. Racco Lombardi, bro, why not go back to Korea and find a girl who wants a green card? Go to Southeast Asia. That's funny. Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't want to meet someone who would just meet me for my green card, though, right? Like, oh man. I mean, at that point, she's not really meeting me, right? She's meeting my green card. She's not marrying me. She's marrying my green card, right? So, all right. All right. Yeah, bro. On air, bro. You should just go back to South Korea. Oof. Here, I leave. Alright, Dragon Cam. I think you guys still talking to each other. Did you, Ahmed Khan, did you have 4.0 in high schools? Yeah, so my GPA in high school was pretty high, yeah. So if I count the weighted classes, right, like those AP courses and the honors classes, my GPA was like 4.3, 4.4, like at some point. So my GPA was pretty high. So maybe my GPA was what made up for it, right? For lack of or low SAT score, right? Okay. All right, Dragon. Cam. Okay, I think you guys still probably talking to each other still, right? All right. Okay. Raquel Lombardi. Actually, I would advise to avoid the K-pop obsessed girls. They are a pain in the butt, and he probably isn't high enough for that. That's funny. Okay. Normal gadget lab. You look quite attractive, actually. Really? Okay, it's the lighting. Don't be fooled by the lighting, gadget lab. Okay, lighting can do wonders, I think. All right, art is still a niche, and most girls will still have that wall up unless you're a certain height. Yeah, that's true. You know, certain girls and certain men too, right? Like they can have a very strict standards, right? Like a deal breaker or whatnot, right? And yeah, I know some people, some guys too, like who wouldn't date certain girls because of certain reasons. Certain girls for too, right? Like for certain reason, it could be a height, it could be their education level, it could be their ethnicity, it could be their socioeconomic status, it could be anything, right? But I think height usually it's pretty common factor or reason, a deal breaker. Like short height could be a deal breaker for a lot of women. All right. Hi Devin. Millennial Black Pill brought me here. That's funny. Okay, let's see. Let's go down. Think you guys are Dragon Camp. You guys still chatting with each other, so I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, LW, are your sisters WMAF? That's white male Asian female, right? No, they are not WMAF. They are AMAF. All right. Let's see. Hexman Hater Elp. Hello, Kenji. I'm curious if you had gone back to school. Yes. I did go back to school when I was 31 or 32. I actually went back to Berkeley to finish it. It's quite a complicated story, but I'll probably create another video on this, but just to briefly explain, I tried to go back when I was 25 back to Berkeley, and then I still failed out of the classes the second time I went back. And then when I was 29 or 30, I tried going back again. And then my financial aid stuff didn't work out as anticipated. So I actually had to move back down. So I didn't even get to enroll in my classes, right? Because I couldn't get my financial aid. But when I was 32, that's when actually, or 31, that's actually when I went back again. So I guess that's like third or fourth time, right? Yeah, so I did go back and eventually I got my degree from Berkeley, yeah. All right, Raquel Lombardi, you're probably right about many of them dragging Cam. I just figure it would feel super cucked to see your girlfriend keeps going on about how hot the male stars are, and they do be annoying as fuck. All right, Matrix. Hello, Matrix 1 versus 9. Kenji, bro, competition is inherent between males. In the presence of women they would like to mate. That's instinct, so don't take it personally. Yeah, that's very true. I wholeheartedly agree with you. And yeah, I try not to take it personally. It's just that, like, yeah, it's just that tension though, right? It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure if I can like compete or I can't bear that tension sometimes. Sometimes it becomes almost unbearable. It's just because it's too much. But yeah, I do agree with you that like it's inherent a trait that we are all born with, right? So yeah, I do agree with you on that. Okay, Normal Gadget Lab, you have a cute smile and you are a great storyteller. Oh, that's really nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Quitting League was a great decision. Lol. League of Legends. Well, are you talking about me? I haven't quit. I just stopped for a bit because I've been starting. I've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff. So I didn't really quit per se, but yeah, I haven't played in a while. But in my 20s, for sure, I was addicted to that game too. I was addicted to gambling. I was addicted to gaming. There's so many things I was addicted to, man. What a mess. All right, Rocket League. Oh no, League of Legends, right? Okay. Andy, the Virgo. Hey Benji, we are alike friend. Yeah. What do you find alike between us? Is that short height? I don't know. Matrix. Kenji, bro, invest is portable light source. No reason to drain your car battery. Much tougher to replace than to recharge. Excuse me. Recharge a portable light. Yeah, I think I'll get myself the ring light, whatever. Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you, thank you. All right, TJ. What are your thoughts on Andrew T saying depression isn't real, etc.? Did he really say that? Wow. Mm, no, I think I would have to disagree on that. Mm, I mean, what is real though? Like, what do you define real and not real, right? You know, like you could argue that our whole existence is not real, right? If you try to get into like quantum physics, whatnot, right? It's all simulated, right? But I mean, I don't know. Um, but then the thing is that, you know, if you look at I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with DSM-5. It's like the manual, right? The psychologists and like psychiatrists and a lot of mental health professionals use to diagnose, you know, their patients in terms of their mental conditions. A lot of it, if you look at it, um, a lot of their, or not a lot of it, but like some of it keeps evolving and changing. So yeah, sometimes I think like, oh man, like how if it keeps changing some of these diagnoses, like the conditions and criteria keeps changing, like I mean, like, is it really real? Like sometimes I think about that too, but I don't know. I still think like I would say depression is real just as much as like how anxiety is real, right? Like you feel it. Like fear is real, right? Mm, yeah. So yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know that he said that. Andrew Tate. All right. All right. Dragon Cat. I agree with the second meds. Having taken them for 2 years and not taking them ruined my life since my mental health worsened. Ruined 3 relationships because of that as well. During that period, Kenji, in your case, you definitely got this. The problem is where you live, cause I've been called ugly all of my life and have been having better luck with ladies from different states, cities, and countries. Yeah, so like I should just move to Midwest, right? If you're already the black sheep of the family, then it tends to be easier to move away. Not gonna lie, or just meet a woman from elsewhere and bring her to where you live, as men did throughout history. Yeah, sure, that's a good point. Yeah, art and location is so important. It's just so hard to move somewhere far from family and what you're used to. If you bring her to where the issue lies, you will just end up with the same outcome with time. Women are social and they learn quickly from their surroundings. That's true. That's very true. Not always sure, but flip the coin if it's worth all the trouble. Red flags are hard to spot if you've never experienced them before or from other experiences, right? Especially with the lack of dating experience a lot of younger guys are going through. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, I feel like I'm getting caught up now for the chat. Finally, all right. Um, okay. Normal Gadget Lab. Your voice is so calming. Really? Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would want and hope my voice can be calming. So yeah, because the other day people are commenting how my voice is like makes them sleep, right? Help them to fall asleep. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Like I serve a good benefit. You know, sleeping pill, natural sleeping pill. That's funny. Okay, Dragon Cam, also Kenji, I would argue you're seeing it from a millennial point of view. Since I would argue that many Gen Z people don't care much about how another person can benefit. them. To be fair, networking depends on your situation. I wouldn't have a job if I didn't network through my uncle. I wouldn't say you missed the in-person interaction if you speak a lot through voice chat. You'll be very surprised of how vulnerable people make themselves online with Gen Z. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's true too, right? Um, yeah, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Mm, yeah, I don't know what to add to that. Yeah, exactly. With the trust and mutual friend thing, worked out for me big time. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out for you. Yeah, I'm glad that you got to benefit from the networking through your uncle. Yeah, I've heard a lot about like how a lot of people ended up getting jobs through their friends or family members. I mean, it plays a big role, especially like I think in like landing a very first job. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, networking. Yeah. Okay, art and free speech, brother. All right. Let's see. Poke. What's up, Kenji? I hope you're doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing great too. Thank you, Poke. Hexman. Yeah, Artin. Yeah, audio is good. Oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, TJ. Question regarding how life was before the explosion of the internet and social media. Seems like you lived both lives and you were born in the perfect time to be invested in Amazon, Apple, Facebook. Honestly, this fetish with Koreans is very strange. It's similar to anime weebs fetish with Japanese people. It doesn't make sense. And do you have any ideas on why this happens? It's very stereotypical. Kenji trying to be philosophical while I'm busy watching like and dragon fighting in the live chat. Are they fighting? Oh no. Guys. Oh man. Okay, so before the explosion of the internet, yeah, definitely like in so when the first time Facebook came out, I think I was in like my last like senior year of high school or first year of college. Yeah, and it was very new, right? Still, and like it was so new, and I guess I was so fascinated by it, right? How you could connect with people, and that you could connect, like see the mutual friends, right? That was the fascinating part, actually, to see the mutual friend, um, and then yeah, you could see like um, who is like who's the friend of your friends, and yeah, it was just all fascinating to me. And but back then, still like dating and finding someone usually was done through like in-person interaction, right? So cold approaching, and that was I remember that was actually the year or the time this whole movement, the pickup artist PUA, right? PUA movement started to happen, I believe. So it was like such a huge wave of um I guess new movement, right? um and yeah, like still back then, approaching women on the street or like just meeting them like through your friends, mutual friends was more common, right? And we would meet them at like social events or school club events. And yeah, we didn't really have like Tinder or Hinge, Bumble, whatever, right? So that was a more normalcy for back then. And yeah, I don't really know what to make of all these like the new fetish and hype um around or about Koreans, right? I think it's just the media, like how the media portrays Koreans in a certain way. Um and I think how the media portrays like certain lifestyle of Koreans, right? I know that a lot of girls are really into like Korean skincare products because they see a lot of pretty Korean idols, right? And they see how good of skin they have, and they want that, right? They want to emulate that. So yeah, they like buy a lot of Korean skincare products, hoping that they would be able to have that of like good of skin as the Korean idols, right? Mm, so yeah, there's definitely that almost like cultish like um trend and what do you call it? Is that called phase? I forget the word. But yeah, you get my point, right? Um, okay, yeah, and all right. So I hope I answered your question, right? All right. Azami, hello, 12 a.m. again. Oh my god, it's way past 12 a.m. now, half an hour later. How long have I been streaming now? Oh wow, 2 hours and a half. And you guys are still here, 42 people. Wow, you guys are awesome. Wow. Wait, TJ, isn't it like 3:35 in the morning over there in the East Coast? You're still not asleep, you're still up? All right. All right, Azami. By the way, I know how you feel about the doctor thing, except my original course is nursing. Once I was in the clinicals, I dipped out. It's like dipped out means dropped out, right? Oh, like what made you drop out of your nursing program? Like I think it. Wait, did you like leave the comments like how? Yeah, I think you left the comment, right? How you were pushed like both of your parents are like nurses, right? And you were pushed towards nursing, even if you weren't interested in it. And then like once you started the clinicals, that you realized it wasn't for you. You really hated it, and you dropped out, right? If I'm not mistaken. Um, Matrix, Kenji, what is the furthest thing you have gotten with a girl? How did you get as far as you did, and what stopped you from going further? Um, Matrix, I think I'll leave it that up to your imagination. You're funny. I don't know. I feel a little shy to share that. I don't know. Okay. LW, follow up to previous question. How is your relationship with your sister's boyfriend? So I have two younger sisters, right? And one of them is 2 years younger, and the youngest one, we're actually 15 years apart. So the one right below me, she's married, so it's not her boyfriend, it's her husband, right? Uh, our relationship is good. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. And my youngest sister, yeah, she has a boyfriend too, and yeah, relationship good too. But I don't really talk to them. Like, I'm kind of awkward. So whenever like they come over, or I run into them or they run into me, we just say hi and then how are you, and that's about it. But yeah, I would say that's good. Like no tension or anything like that, no conflict. Right. All right. Obunga, is he caught up to check? I think I'm almost caught up now, right? I'm getting there. Thanks for being so patient with me. All right, Matrix. By the way, Kenji, I don't think you need the car light. The street light is enough. All right, let me try. How about now? Is it okay? Should I go with this now? Let me know. If you want me to turn it back on. All right. Okay, let's see. I think you guys are still talking to each other, right? You guys, TJ and Raquel. Okay, yeah, Dragon Camp 3 a.m. Almost there, yeah. Artin, 3:35 a.m. gang, yes. Azami, do the hospital and nursing home environment freak me out? Then yeah, that was me. I commented on one of your videos. Yeah. Oh, that freaked you out? Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, like I have volunteered in the hospital. I worked there for like almost 2 years, and I have worked in the ER department, the operating room department, surge center, rehab department. I actually have bagged the body too. And when I was working at the surgery center, I have had like HIV positive patients come in for to remove their like part like warts on their like around the what is it, the anus area, butt, right. I've helped with that, like just like cleaning and stuff, and but I've got to like see it in person, right, like right there. I've got to see like open heart surgery. I've got like right next to the doctor performing the surgery. I've got to see the orthopedic surgery, open leg. I've got to see like organ transplant from this woman that was what do you call it? Like brain dead, like vegetable, right? State. Yeah, yeah, I got to observe a lot of it, and I thought it was pretty cool. It was just that like I didn't like how some of the doctors treated the nurses. Noticed that a lot of, or some of the doctors could be really entitled and condescending, so arrogant. Some of them, the way they talk to the nurses, like you could clearly tell that like these doctors um feel superior to the nurses, and they talk down on them or talk down to them, right? I didn't really like that. Like it really rubbed me the wrong way. um like one time, like this doctor was performing a brain surgery. Like this guy had like what do you call it, a stroke, right? So he had to open up the skull, right? So I was like standing right next to the doctor performing that open brain surgery, and like he used like a drill to like open the the skull. It was quite wild. But anyways, the one of the nurses brought the gauze, for the doctors, for that doctor to use, and I guess she brought the wrong gauze, and then the doctor told the nurse like to bring the right gauze he always uses, right size. And then the nurse told him that, hey doctor, like this is the gauze you always have been using, you have always been used, right? This is the right size. And then while he's performing the brain surgery, he flips out and he just goes ape shit and like on this nurse, and they starts to yell at her saying, I've been performing brain surgery for the last 30 years. I know what kind of gauze size, I use. You don't get to tell me what size I use, okay? If I tell you if this is not the right size, this is not the right size. Okay, so now bring me the right size, okay? Oh my gosh, it was so awkward, and like it was kind of scary too, intimidating, right? Because I was sitting right, like standing right there. And then I guess like I felt so uncomfortable there. And me and my other intern, we decided to just leave like that, right? Dip out of the... she's like looking at me, and she was like, should we just go out? And I was like, yeah, we should just go out. So we just exited the room. It was crazy. The tension and the his anger, like I could, it's so palpable, right? I could feel it. This guy wasn't having it. Yeah. Oh man. But he was still performing the surgery while yelling at them. That was pretty, I guess, professional, I guess. Yeah. Okay, where am I? All right. So should I leave the lights on? Is the light okay? Or should I have it off? Okay, no more gadget lab. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for dropping in. Um let's see. Mohammed Hami. I don't want to sound intrusive, but how tall are your sister's boyfriends? Wait, I know the answer. Even your own blood are discriminating against your height. Natural selection is at its finest. I think my like I said, I have two sisters, but one the youngest one's youngest sister's boyfriend. I think he's like 5'11", I believe, or 5'10". And then the other sister that's 2 years apart, his my height. He's like 1 inch taller than me, 5'7", I believe. Yeah, so pretty similar. Mm-hmm. All right, DM bad system. Azami, dude, that's scary. I don't think I'll ever see myself in OR, but then again, healthcare field isn't for me anyways. Lol. Yeah, that was scary, and the funny thing is that I could this like make this a story too. I just remember what happened then. When I was working there. Actually, let me take a note. But I'll share with you what happened. I'll make a video out of this too. The story. Hold on. So one time, I was working at a rehab, right? So that was the very first, or I was volunteering at the rehab floor. Um, and that was the very first few months I started volunteering there, right? And one time I was just sitting down at the station, like the nursing station, where sometimes you get calls from the pharmacy, we get calls from the other department of the hospital. It was pretty big hospital, right? And then one time I'm just sitting there and just answering calls, whatever, and I get a call from this doctor at the emergency room, right? ER. And then he goes, "Oh, can I speak to, blah blah blah," right? And this patient, so he was trying to get a hold of the nurse that's in charge of this one patient, right? He asked, "Oh, can I get a talk to the nurse in charge of like this patient name, blah blah blah," right? And this patient name, I don't know, it was a very weird name, and also I guess my English is not maybe not good, but I couldn't not catch the name, right? So I was like, "Hey, doctor, I'm so sorry, but like, can you repeat that, right?" And then he repeats the name, and I still couldn't get it. The name is so weird, and he was speaking so fast too, right? And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, doctor, but like, I didn't catch the name. Like, can you repeat it?" And then you know what the doctor said? He said, "Okay, you know what? Can you get someone who's not deaf?" He legit said that, right? So I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Okay, sorry." And then I just like handed over the phone like to one of the nurse, right? But like in hindsight, I should have done that the first time I didn't catch the name, right? But yeah, that's what happened, and it was kind of low key traumatizing for me. Like, and I never wanted to answer any calls from the ER anymore, right? Yeah, so that's what happened. Obunga, are you going back to school? I actually went back to school when I was like 31 and was finally able to graduate. Hmm. Azami, are you thinking about going back to medical healthcare field, or are you going to a different field? No, I'm not going back to medical healthcare field. But I'm in a different field now. I'm just fully working right now. So yeah, I think I'm okay where I'm at. I feel pretty okay. Even if like I don't make a lot of money, or there's not much potential like to make a lot of money in my current job field, but I'm okay with it. Um, because I feel like this is something I'm actually able to enjoy. I feel capable of doing. So yeah. All right. I think time's well almost getting close to well close to 3 hour mark. And I think I'm going to end the live streaming soon, in like maybe like at the 3 hour mark. So like I'll stay on for another 10 minutes. But wow, I see that still 43 people are on the live stream. That's wild. That's a lot of, isn't there a lot of people actually to be like on the live stream at this hour? Oh wow. Um oh wow. Okay. LW, would you consider graduate school? So I actually went to graduate school after I graduated from college. So after I went back to Berkeley, and then yeah, I went there for like 2 more years. I changed my major to cognitive science from MCB, which is like molecular cell biology. And then yeah, I graduate. I switched my major to cognitive science, and I graduated with that degree from Berkeley. And then I went on to grad school after taking 1 year off. And that grad school is like, yeah, like I wasn't really an, it wasn't it was not planned. Um, so I thought that like I might try maybe software engineering, but that did not work out. It was too I never even got to the point of like applying for a job. It was just way too stressful for me. And just that constant um the cycle of like hitting the wall whenever you get stuck in a problem, the constant just the constant learning curve, and you always googling stuff, reading all this documentation, and I just hated it. I just hated every bit of it, right? So I thought like when I was majoring in cog sci, I thought I would um yeah, like try out software engineering, because I mean somehow I seem to be okay at it. I got okay grades in some of the CS classes I took. Um, so I thought I might have some aptitude for it, and I think I did, right? But that man, like my stress tolerance, it just cannot handle the stress from like associated with that comes with programming. Like as a programmer, you just have to study a lot constantly, even after I feel like just nonstop. Like there's always new stuff that comes out, like new frameworks, and um, I hated learning like a different language, right? I learned C++, Java, um, JavaScript. Mm, what else? Python. I really like Python, by the way. I love that language, but yeah, I realized it wasn't for me. Like I really hated learning the new syntax when you have to learn a new language, even if there's a lot of like overlap and stuff. I just hated it. So yeah, I chose something like completely different for my grad school. Yeah. mm, Azami, dude, ever since I dropped out of nursing school, I just been researching other occupation. Azami, like you should do that. I think you should be really open to other options, other occupations, and really use this as an opportunity to really explore what you might be good at, what you might have aptitude for, what your interests are, um, what you're okay with, what you're tolerant of. Like explore all the options, right? Usually there is something that sticks out. For me, it was psychology, and like it was mental health, and it was something just human mind, and that was like something that stood out to me. But yeah, but like find your interest, like, and well, the thing is that when you tell people like find your interest, it has an assumption that everyone is born with an interest, right? Which I don't think is the case. mm, I think it's possible that some people innately don't have any interest in anything, right? And if that's the case for you, I think I would try to look for something you might be good at. And again, I think it starts with the assumption that advice starts with an assumption that you should have something you're good at, right? And I don't think I don't think it's a universal truth that all people have their something they're good at either. um so if that's again, like if you feel like you don't know what you're good at, then I would start also explore what you think you might be okay tolerating, what kind of job or what kind of field, right? Like think about, like consider like what your stress tolerance level is. If you're introverted, if you like working with people, or if you like working on the things with things, right? So yeah, I'll consider like all angles, right? Yeah. LW, have you gone back to Korea recently? Um, I have gone back to Korea about 3 years ago. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, I have gone back, and wow, it's it has changed a lot. I haven't been back to Korea for how long? Since I came here, which was when I was 16. So after having moved, having not been back to Korea for 20 years, I went back just to visit over the summer, and wow, everything has changed so much. And yeah, I realized that one thing I realized is that, oh wow, like I have changed too. Like my because one thing I noticed is that like in Korea, there's no really concept of like personal space. So when people stand in line, they stand in line pretty close to each other, which made me uncomfortable. Yeah, and that's when I realized, wow, I'm pretty Americanized now, huh? Like the fact that I feel a little uncomfortable when people are too close to each other, not really having that concept of like personal space. Yeah, I realized, oh wow, I have probably assimilated more than I thought I did. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. All right. Matrix. The computer science. Oh wait, I think I skipped over. TJ, would you ever consider the Neuralink? I really don't know what that is, TJ. Sorry. All right, Azami, aren't there other computer science courses that does have too much programming coding? Excuse me if that was a dumb question since I don't study computer science. You know, there. So I think in computer science courses, there as you get to the upper level, they study more of theory. um so it's heavily theory based, right? So they don't um, I don't think they do a whole lot of programming, but they do a lot of algorithm, studying algorithm and like reasoning and proofs. And that one is like another beast. I rather code actually than do those because I hated proofs class, like an algorithm class. Those did not make sense for me, a lot of them, like stable marriage algorithm theory, Dijkstra's algorithm, all those like they never made sense for me. But yeah, I mean there are courses that don't do a whole lot of coding and programming, but that doesn't mean necessarily it's easier, if you know what I mean. Matrix. Computer science field is oversaturated, has been for a while now. Unless you're cracked at machine learning, AI, your competition for entry level jobs is going to be insane. Yeah, I think that's some truth to what you're saying, Matrix. Yeah, like a lot of entry jobs are indeed being oversaturated with a lot of newly college grads, right? CS grads, and yeah, they are really hardly competing for that small pool of entry level jobs because a lot of it now is getting automated, right? um so yeah, now like the only available spots, a lot of available spots is probably like mid-level or senior level, right? But not a whole lot of entry level. I've been on like those CS career questions subreddit, right? And a lot of posts talk about like how they cannot find a job even after like 2 years after grad from or 1 year after like from graduating from their program. They've been applying to like over 1,000 companies and they barely hear back from them. It's just a lot of just very depressing and yeah, just depressing stories, right? Okay, let me see. All right, I think I'll stop soon. I'll answer the question of the Isabel and then I'll probably call it a night, guys. Okay, let's see. Azami, that's a good idea. I've been trying to find an occupation that better suits me in terms of stress tolerance. My problem is that I tend to overthink. So the fact that you bring up that you tend to overthink, you have to be really, I don't know, in my personal opinion, in my personal experience, I am the exact type as you are, at least in terms of overthinking, right? Usually, I think people that tend to overthink, they tend to have higher level anxiety. They tend to have lower threshold for stress tolerance. I don't know if you have ever taken those um, big five personality test, but um, basically it tests yeah, big five personality, right? um, and big five personality, one of the personality it measures is neuroticism. And neuroticism is basically how it measures how neurotic you are, right? Which is pretty much uh, close to how tolerant you are to stress. It's very similar, right? So if you tend to overthink, I would probably assume that you tend to be more neurotic. And I think you have to be really careful because any little thing, small thing, from your job or from interacting with people can really throw you off, right? And I mean, realistically, there is not, I don't think there exists a job that's not, doesn't have a component of stressing you out, right? Every job has that component of stressing you out. But I think still, depending on how you, mm, how you, I guess, choose your career or how you choose your job, I think you could still find a job that's more tolerable, um, and you wouldn't feel as neurotic when you are stressed out. So I would definitely consider that a factor too. Like when you try to find a job or career, um, like what kind of things stress you out. For example, it could be something like, oh, interacting with people like customers could really really stress you out, right? Then probably it might not be a good idea for you to um, step into like those customer service jobs where or yeah, like sales jobs, right, where a lot of human interaction is involved. I mean, every job has some aspect of interacting with other humans, right? It's just inevitable, but still, I think you could take that into consideration, like when you choose a job. Yeah. Okay. Isabel, hi, Daddy. What's your zodiac sign? Wait, what is zodiac sign? Zodiac. Is that like ox, something like that? Aries or oh, Oh yeah, this. I think. Oh yeah, I'm Libra. Yeah, my zodiac sign is Libra. All right. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys, but I think I'm gonna have to call it a night here today. So yeah, I mean, wow, 37 people still on the stream. Wow, that's a lot of people. Probably I made some of the people fall asleep. I helped some of the people fall asleep. Huh? Okay, guys. So yeah, thanks for dropping by for my live stream. I really appreciate all your support. You guys have been so nice to me, and I hope that you know I hope to do this on a regular basis. I really like just communicating with you guys and just talking about just any topic, right? And yeah, hopefully I can provide mm, some support or some value to your life, right? And maybe add some positive value, yeah, to improve your life. Okay, so again, thanks again for everyone who have joined my live stream today, and I'll see you next time. Good night.